Thank you for joining. Some news stories for you from Ethiopia and Eritrea. Firstly, an important session of House of Representatives of Ethiopian MPs was held today. State of emergency was due to be approved or rejected by members of parliament. Voting was held. How many voted in support of imposition of emergency? An Amhara politician today spoke at the House of Representatives meeting, and he criticized the government. He is one of top Amhara leaders, one of those leaders who backed PM Abiy. He backed this slogan of change when PM Abiy came to power. But today he lashed out at Ethiopian PM, Ethiopian Prosperity Party. Is he going to be arrested? It seems he could be. What did he say? Let us analyze the statement, the complete speech of this top Amhara politician, who is one of very few Amhara politicians who are speaking openly against the government. Secondly, Eritrea today inaugurated a road which was being built for a few weeks, I think. When construction of road began, I reported. And now Eritrea has completed the construction. This road passes through a town which Tigray claims is Tigray's territory. Details for you about this road. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian House of People's Representatives held a meeting today where MPs voted to approve or reject state of emergency proclamation announced by the Council of Ministers a few days ago. Voting was held. 332 members of parliament voted in support of the state of emergency proclamation. 12 abstained from voting. They were there, they did not vote. 16 opposed state of emergency proclamation. Before the start of session yesterday, Human Rights Commission of Ethiopia asked Ethiopian government that emergency should not go beyond 1 month and it should only be applicable to the Amhara region. No amendments. Today's resolution passed at the House of Representatives had no amendments. State of emergency imposed, ratified by the House of Representatives for 6 months. Though it is applicable to the Amhara region, but in other regions and zones too, action is being taken by security forces under the state of emergency proclamation, which 16 members opposed state of emergency, which 12 members abstained from voting. No details shared by the government. Government did not broadcast the session live today, but videos are being shared in social media showing an Amhara politician lashing out at Ethiopian government, Ethiopian Prosperity Party, ruling party. He was delivering a speech at the House of Representatives. Before voting was held, he delivered a speech. What did he say? Who is he, by the way? Why is he so critical of Ethiopian federal government Prosperity Party? His name is Gado Andergacho. Gado is a former Amhara region's president. He worked as Minister of Foreign Affairs too, I think. Last year, 2 top Amhara politicians were sidelined. Gado Andergacho and Johannes Boyalio. Both were supportive of some hardliners in the Amhara region. Both opposed disbandment of Fano factions last year. This action, state action on Fano faction, started last year, in 2022. And these two leaders opposed state action, disarmament against Fano fighters. So they were sidelined. The two were removed from Prosperity Party's Central Committee. And both were removed from some positions. They held some portfolios, they were removed. Their security was withdrawn too. Johannes, a few days ago, an audio call between Johannes Boyalo and a Fano commander was leaked. And Johannes was accused of supporting Fano fighters. Johannes spoke at Amhara Regional Council session a few days ago. He criticized the government. He said that talks should be held. And today it was Gado under Gacho's turn, who did not pull any punches today. He said that Amhara people supported change. PM Abiy's PM Abiy's slogan of change was backed by Amhara people. But Amhara people's genuine concerns were not addressed, and they were pushed to where they are now. He demanded withdrawal of Ethiopian military from the Amhara region. Firstly, he demanded that no regional government should be involved in this conflict. We know that regional governments have issued statements supporting military operation against Amhara Fano. Obviously, ruling party, Prosperity Party, asked regional governments to issue statements. He opposed the involvement of other regional governments in the conflict in Amhara. Thirdly, he said, stop dehumanization and persecution of Amhara people. And he demanded that a transitional setup should be put in place in the Amhara region. All forces should be part of this transitional government. He did not name Fano, but he proposed indirectly that Fano, PP, others all should form a transitional government in Amhara. He called for dialogue. He said talks should be held between the armed groups in Amhara region and the government. He criticized the government. Government did not learn from past mistakes. He said government creates political conflicts and then it adopts military means to resolve political conflicts, which leads to more conflicts. And in the last 4 years, conflict after conflict seen in entire Ethiopia. His speech was a charge sheet against ruling party, against Prosperity Party, against PM Abiy's government. He's a top Amhara politician. It seems that gradually Amhara resistance is finding leaders. We have been saying that one of the main problems faced by Amhara resistance, Amhara people, is lack of genuine leadership. Now, gradually, new leaders are emerging. Skandar Naga emerging on military front. Colonel Muhabao Fantahun on military front. Gadondra Gacho, he is being praised. All Amhara hardliners, activists, journalists, intellectuals, they are all praised for Gado under Gacho. They say Gado made history today. It seems Gado is going to be leader of this resistance movement. Will he be allowed to speak again, or will he be put in prison? The way he spoke today, I don't think he will be allowed to speak freely in future. he could be arrested. If you remember, Christian Tadale criticized the government, federal government. He said Abiy administration should stop persecution of Amharas, should stop military operation atrocities against Amhara. What happened after that? Christian was arrested. He is in prison. And now Gaddo spoke today. Gaddo spoke much more than Christian. His entire speech was a charge sheet against the ruling party. He is part of the ruling party, by the way. He is a member of Prosperity Party. He is a member of House of Representatives from Prosperity Party. So he criticized his own party, criticized PM Abiy. Will he be allowed to operate freely? I don't think so, but it seems that this Amhara resistance movement is finding leaders. People, though they know they can be arrested, they can be persecuted, they are speaking. Government will find it difficult to contain these leaders if several start speaking. Let's see, will others join the Gacho or not? But Gaddo spoke today and spoke fearlessly, I would say. Which other Amhara politicians spoke today? Which other politicians opposed state of emergency? We'll see in coming hours. So far, overwhelmingly, government managed to have the resolution passed because PP has majority and members of parliament from Oromia, from other parts of Ethiopia, obviously they support the action against Fano. So easily, government secured the required majority and state of emergency now has been ratified by House of Representatives for 6 months, though it can be lifted earlier too. Second was Eritrea today inaugurated a road which it has been building for a few months. The road passes through a town which was part of Tigray before the start of this war. The war, which ended last year, started in November 2020. Eritrean military is in control of Zalambasa town. Zalambasa is on Tigray-Eritrea border. Before the start of war, Zalambasa was under Tigray control. After the war, Eritrean military took control of Zalambasa, but some other parts too. Tigray claims entire Zalambasa is part of Tigray. Eritrean military did not withdraw from Zalambasa. It started construction of a road which links Zalambasa with Eritrean territories. A school was demolished in Zalambasa town to construct this road. And today, Eri TV showed images from Zalambasa showing the inauguration of the road. It means road construction has been completed. So while international community like Western countries are calling for complete Eritrean withdrawal from Tigray territories, Eritrea is consolidating its control of disputed territories. Is Zalambasa part of Eritrea according to the Boundary Commission ruling, which came around 2 decades ago? Or is Eritrea just annexing Tigray territories? We can only have peace on Tigray-Eritrea border if the two sides hold bilateral talks. Ethiopia represented by Tigray, and they resolve their dispute over the demarcation of the border. Otherwise, Tigray says its town annexed by Eritrea. Eritrea would say no, its military is on Eritrean soil. How will this issue be resolved? Only through bilateral dialogue or some mediation. There is no third way. Third way is that of a war, which we saw, which led to destruction, large-scale destruction in Tigray. Eritrea is in a strong position now. It is not showing any flexibility to the offer of talks. Tigray has offered talks to Eritrea. We heard from Getachew when he was in the US, and Debretsion when he was interviewed by the BBC, I think. The two offered dialogue to Tigray, though Debretsion demanded withdrawal of Eritrean military from all territories before the start of talks. But there is silence on Eritrean side. Eritrea should talk to Tigray, vice versa. That is the way forward. Otherwise, one day Tigray might be in a position to challenge Eritrea militarily again, and you could see assumption of armed hostilities. Thank you for watching.